Carrie and Tommy will launch in just a second to brighten your day. With CommBank Yellow, you get discounts and exclusive experiences. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yes, it is. Welcome back,
Honey,
guys.
we're home.
Yes, it is so nice to be on home soil. And Bickers, everybody keeps asking me the same question.
What?
Because, of course, you ran a half marathon in some of the most dangerous conditions, which is you didn't do a poo before you ran. And you ran with one, as I call it, loose in the chamber.
Well, it wasn't loose. I wished it was even loose.
Too tight
It
in
was
the chamber.
so far up the chamber that it was in my belly, weighing
But
me down.
people keep asking me, Carrie,
Yes.
has Carrie done a poo yet?
Do you want the honest answer?
Are you... Carrie, it's been days.
I'm trying. I think all the stuff. This is too much for the start of the show. I think all the stuff.
Oh, do you want to save it for the end? Tease to it. Guys, coming up, we
what a
find
hook.
out.
I've had so many coffees. I think I might have to take a laxative, which I've never had to take in my life because I am a regular, not.
Brag.
Need to brag about when you've been backed up for 3 days.
I think it's longer than that. I remember the last poo I did was Thursday night.
I feel so sorry for the
Wait, so hold on. You've done a whole overseas trip, and not once did you do it over the sea.
Maybe
Overseas.
it's
You've been
the
to South
flying
Africa
and
Yeah.
stuff.
and not used the toilet.
You've been to another continent.
Anyway,
And on the flights, nothing. The pressure from the plane.
I know. I get it.
We need
Yeah,
to talk
producer
about this.
said that's better than Nedd's world record. Anyway, it made running very difficult. I put my slow time down to that.
But it's also, that's days ago.
It's fine. I'll be fine, guys. I got
13, 10, 60.
No, I
How
don't
long's it
need
been
help.
since you've had a poo?
I don't need help.
Oh, yeah. How long
But like, that's the longest I've ever heard. I had a mate once and he reckons he goes 2 or 3 times a week, and I thought that must have been bad for him.
When
but this has been days.
When little
and
Addie was born, she didn't go for weeks and weeks and
don't
weeks and
pass
weeks.
the buck on to someone else. You haven't had a dump in 4 days.
Wait, how long do you reckon you can go?
Actually, 5 days.
That's
Thursday.
not good. If you wait too long, it can start coming up the
Why are
other
you
way.
telling us, mate?
No, it
Coming
can.
up the other way.
Yeah, it can. I think
No,
it
it
can
can't.
start coming up the other way.
That's misunderstanding how the body works.
I feel like that's what someone.
Turds don't go back up through
I
your
swear to
stomach.
God, Google. Somebody once didn't poo so much that it started coming up back up their mouth. Google it. Somebody Google it for me. I swear
Carrie,
to God, I haven't made that up.
You're just lying.
Google it. Have a look. I remember reading it out on the project
you have
one
a poo
day.
and I'll have a Google.
I don't need to.
I thought
That's
you
my
were-
problem. Anyway, what are we doing now? Taking calls on how long since something. Why are so many people calling through?
Because
Is
they're
this the
worried.
Moral
is this the
support?
stuff that people want?
Yeah, Annabelle.
No, poo does not come out of your mouth if you don't poo for a
Of
long
course it
time.
doesn't.
However, in rare cases of severe intestinal obstruction or constipation, a person may vomit.
Yes.
Fecal matter.
There we
Oh,
go.
so it does.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Say sorry.
What a way to prove
No,
your
I'm
point.
not saying
Say
sorry because
sorry.
you're about to spew poo. I'm saying less and less to you as the days wind on.
Speaking of spewing, can we talk next about your medical emergency that happened over there? We'll take these poo calls in
What I
amongst
would have
that.
liked with the medical emergency was some medical professionals because the more I chatted to them, the less qualified I realised they are, and we need to talk about it next.
Carrie and Tommy.
I've
Are
got
you feeling a
anxiety.
bit of anxiety? I would have thought so.
Poo's-iety.
Just to be clear.
Carrie's been 5 days and an international trip
And
and,
a
a
half
half marathon
marathon,
and
yeah.
hasn't done a dump.
Around the world in 0 poos.
Yeah.
And I'm very regular normally.
Stop bragging about it. It's so weird. G'day, Leonie.
Hi.
How long? Hi. Hi. How long had it been without going number 2?
2 days short of 5 weeks.
Oh! How come, Leonie?
I'm not really sure. I was on holiday for 10 days. Nothing happened there. Came back, took some colloxal stuff. Nothing happened. And then I thought, oh, maybe I better do something about it. So I went to the doctor. Yeah, I was on all this stuff. And then I went and had 5 colonic irrigations. And it took to the fourth one before it moved anything. And that was after having my stomach bashed at the same time and squished and what have you.
Oh, my God.
And after 5, it must have been, it was blocked under my rib cage.
Oh. Were you still eating?
Yep.
Yeah, because where does it all go?
Until, I don't know, until the 3rd week. And then I was on a liquid diet.
Oh, you poor
and I was
thing.
on numerous types of, stuff to make it come out, and none of them worked. And
without
and
being too graphic, Leonie, when it did come out, was it just normal or was it like all hell had broken loose?
Oh God, no. No, that's why I had to bash my stomach and squeeze my intestine so that they could get it out, because it was like rocks, like concrete.
Wow. Were you in pain?
Strangely enough, and they said to me, like I should be, almost to the point of fainting and vomiting and having massive cramps and everything, I had absolutely nothing.
So maybe my
I
boo's
had
stuck under my ribs.
no symptoms except that I felt bloated under my rib cage. That was the only symptom I had.
Carrie, didn't you say you're feeling a bit bloated?
But I feel bloated 24/7.
Maybe you should go get a colonic.
I don't want to get a colonic. Anyway, thank you, Leonie.
Thanks, Leonie. Great stuff.
Great stuff for not pooing for 5 weeks.
G'day, Jim.
G'day, guys.
It
took me 5 days.
5 days. Okay, that's what Carrie's at the moment. And what was the end result?
I took 2 big tablespoons of castor oil
Yes.
every hour, and on the 6th hour, I went to the toilet, and the log came out in one big piece. It's probably the size of 4 king-size sausage rolls. In one, like it did an S-bend around the toilet and came up the toilet. It had its own personality. It probably had its own postcode.
Did it block the dunny, Jim?
Yeah. I had to get a stick with an S-bend on it to jam it in so I could leave. It wouldn't go.
So I've got to do mine at work. Is that what we're saying?
Well, not now that you've told everyone.
Like,
Carrie's been here.
Carrie's plan is to do all the hectic dumps in the office. Jim, were you scared it was never going to happen?
I was in tears, Tommy, when it was coming. It was like giving birth. I felt like a female giving birth. It was enormous and never ending. It just did not stop.
You're wonderful, Jim.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jim.
very much.
What about Beck? Beck's a nurse. Beck, I'll take your advice. What have you got for me?
Just hit up the Movicol and Coloxal.
Okay.
I just was ringing to say that it's definitely possible that it comes up the other way when you
Oh my God. How long do you have to go before it starts going up the other way?
Well, I don't know. Each patient's been different, but yeah, if you get a bowel obstruction, it does. You do vomit poo.
As if we need more shit talk on this show.
Oh my God, Beck. That's so stressful.
G'day, Anne. Oh, I'll try again. G'day, Anne.
Hi.
How you going? What have you got for us?
I've got for you is, yes, I have vomited up poo.
Oh, what a... Well done. Yeah, clap her in. Clap her in.
Thank you.
What happened? What happened, Anne?
I had a car accident and I had a bowel obstruction and it was for about 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden I felt really crook and I sat up and just spewed shit.
Wow. And
my God.
And obviously, like, if that was me, the smell and everything of it would make me spew more.
I can tell you what, my mouth couldn't open up wide enough.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my God, this is
So, Carrie,
so I've either got a metre long coming out one end to look forward to, or poo vom. Oh my God, neither. Oh,
Stay tuned to find out which one.
Carrie and Tommy.
Coming up, we got trips to Hayman Island to give away. And I stress, trips.
How many?
3.
Ooh, keep listening. That could be you.
So, remember when you brought up on the show a couple of weeks ago about Labubu Dolls?
No.
Not to be confused with the Goo Goo Dolls.
You happy with that?
I am.
I didn't bring up...
Thanks, Eli. We'll go, Eli.
I didn't bring up the Goo Goo Dolls or Labubu Dolls.
No, you did bring up Labubu Dolls. You're the one that brought Labubu Dolls to us. You said, you did a whole break on Labubu Dolls.
Oh, sorry.
I always talk about those guys.
No, can someone find the bit?
Guys and girls?
Absolutely, I'm not losing my mind. I swear you spoke about Labubu Dolls.
What are Labubu Dolls?
Okay, can someone have a look
Oh,
as we
yeah, here
spoke
we
about
go.
Labubu Dolls?
What do you know about Labubus?
Labubus.
Who was that?
You spoke about the little dolls that everyone's carrying around
Are
on
they
their
the ones you
handbags.
clip onto things?
Yes.
I'm familiar.
Anyway, everyone's got them. Everyone loves them.
You don't?
I don't.
I don't
no.
either.
Okay, but everyone else seems to have them.
Should we get some?
Yeah, let's get a Labubu. I don't know if they're hard to get though. Anyway, I want to bring you the tale of the man behind Labubu Dolls.
What's his name?
Because I love stories like this. His name is Wang Ning. And I came across his story on
Just searching for Wang things on the internet again.
Income Ivy page. It's about business entrepreneurship. Anyway, I'm going to tell you the story that I read off this about Mr. Ning.
I think it's Mr. Wang. I think in Asia they do that thing where it's the names in reverse.
Or are you just trying to get me to keep saying Mr. Wang?
Okay, if you want to be insensitive, but I think it is Mr.
I'll
Wang.
just call him by his full name always, Wang Ning. So the Labubu Dolls has just broken the internet. They made their CEO, which is Wang Ning, $1.6 billion in 24 hours. So here's how it started. So if you don't know what it is, it's this weird elf-eared creature like with big eyes, right? So he originally started Pop Mart, which wasn't a tech company. It was just a store that sold toys, right? Not your average sort of toys. They're called blind boxes. You don't know what you're going to get inside, right? And their biggest hit was the Labubu, which was this elf-eared creature that's become everywhere. So Rihanna was spotted with one on her handbag.
Yes.
That photo itself lit the fuse in the US, and then Labubu went nuclear, right? And Wang Ning, the founder, started Pop Mart in 2010 to do that. He borrowed $30K from his family just to start the business.
Yeah.
And in the early days, they sold hundreds of brands, businesses.
Pop Mart is an online store.
It was, I don't know if it's on, yep, it is an online store. I thought it was both online and in-store, but no, it must be online. Anyway, they sold, business was slow, margins were really tight, the future wasn't looking very good. And then it was in 2015, he thought, I'm going to sell blind boxes. He took a wild bet. He bought the rights to one obscure character called Molly, and apparently sales exploded. And he realised the formula was scarcity plus surprise equaled addiction, right?
Yeah,
and it was
gambling.
like people desperately want this thing that they don't even know that they're getting, right? And then it became this like the Labubu doll became this quirky kind of sense of mystery that everyone was like, oh my God, I want a Labubu. Which Labubu will I get? And every drop they do would sell out within seconds. Fans were lining up for hours. Some of them flipped the rare ones online for like $500 a pop. And in 2020, it was going so well that Pop Mart went public and overnight Wang became a billionaire. Whoa. But he was like, that's not enough. So in 2024, they launched in the US.
Yeah.
Then came May 2025, Pop Mart app, the app for this store, went number one on the US App Store. TikTok then went wild for it. Unboxings came along. Remember when everyone started unboxing things? And so they loved unboxing the Labubu. And then he just kept with his strategy of limited drops, the surprise factor. He was thinking about just selling them as they were. And he was like, no, we have to keep this as a surprise because that's the whole point of the whole thing. And he said, and then he created this celeb culture among it where it became the thing that all the celebs wanted. And then in one day, his net worth jumped to $1.6 billion, all from selling these tiny little mystery toys.
So, do you want my opinion?
No. Yeah, of course.
No, because I think it sucks.
What do
I
you
think all
mean?
these things where it's like mystery things suck because it's just gambling but for kids. And then you see celebrities that have the super like rare ones, and so all you want is that, and then 99 times out of 100 you don't. You get the crap one that everyone's got, but then you fork out your hard-earned cash to hopefully get the one Rihanna's got, and you're never going to get it. And you could just spend your money on toys that you actually know what you're getting.
Do you remember when you came up with an idea that you wanted for Christmas to for people to buy boxes that they unpacked and unboxed? And there was
Boxes?
Nothing inside?
No, but the boxes turn into things. It's a great idea.
Also, he doesn't remember talking about Labubus last week. He doesn't remember.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for you Tuesday, Arvo is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. Coming up next, we are kicking off Triple Trip Tuesday. We've got a trip to Hayman Island, the intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef, all thanks to Snooze to give away.
Amazing.
So we did complete the Big 5 marathon. It was touch and go whether I was going to be able to make it. And I talked about this briefly on the show yesterday, but I was so crook last week. And I was going to I posted today a bit of audio of me lying in bed. It was the day before we were due to fly. And I was going to post it last week. And I don't believe in jinxing. I feel like a 10-year-old saying that. But I honestly was worried I was going to jinx myself if I posted it. So I was like, don't post it. Just pretend you're not sick. If you post it, then you're putting a line in the sand to say, hey, by the way, I'm sick. And then you're going to start feeling even worse and tell yourself you're sick. So I didn't post it.
Yep.
But this was me. I got suddenly hit by something. I don't know what it was the day before we were due to fly out.
This is not ideal. We're due to leave tomorrow and I'm so sick. I'm feverish and I have aches from my head to my toes and I sweated through the bed all night. I've been so good at keeping healthy and my body's just fallen apart. And the idea of getting on a plane tomorrow, I can't even get out of bed. I've been in bed for now 14 hours. I don't feel any better.
And I thought about that when I was running because obviously I wasn't feeling great when I was running. But then I started to think about all the reasons why we were there and the people that we were there for.
Yep.
And I remember how sick I felt. And I thought, imagine feeling that day after day after day after day and not getting better. And I wanted to bring you some of the beautiful messages we've received from people. There's so many that we can't read them all, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a snapshot of the types of emotions it's evoked in people and the way it's touched people in different ways. Tricia says, I lost my niece to brain cancer a few years ago. Watching a beautiful young mum be taken from us and watching my entire extended family grieve was one of the hardest things I've ever been through. So much pain for me and everyone in my life. Through the entire thing, she never stopped smiling. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. There's a beautiful woman called Bree who said, I'm a Perth girl. I worked at Channel 10. I'm a mum of 3. In hospital, about to go through the hardest few weeks of my life, having my second bone marrow transplant for relapsed leukemia. Overseas donor cells flying in tomorrow. Feeling overwhelmed today at the thought of what's to come next week when I hit rock bottom. But that just gave me a little bit of a pump up seeing your videos. One foot in front of the other. Congrats to you guys.
Good luck. Good luck. I've got one from Michelle here. And I echo this, Carrie. I think it's right. She says, don't lose sight of what you have accomplished. She started by saying, be kind to yourself, Carrie. She said, you got all those individuals together and you raised over $1 million and you're continuing to spread awareness about brain cancer and raise money for research for new treatment options. Mind-blowing. Don't forget how courageous you are.
Amanda has said, I'm so grateful we have people like you guys trying to raise much-needed money for brain cancer research. I'm 38 with a husband, Daniel 43, and 2 kids, 16 and 14. My husband has been diagnosed with a brain tumour. He was diagnosed in October 2022. He was first diagnosed with a low-grade diffuse glioma. Unfortunately, his treatments haven't worked and his tumour is now high-grade. Daniel is slowly forgetting things and has lost most mobility to his left side of his body. So hard to watch somebody you love fight so hard and remain positive all whilst losing their independence. It's been so hard. He just soldiers on through everything. Lots of messages. Lots of messages.
I think a lot of, what people go through in this life is it's amazing, heartbreaking, inspiring at the same time. And Bree's message before echoed kind of that as well. The idea of just putting one foot in front of the other and just getting to the next day is really tough for a lot of people. I got a message from Joanne. Oh, sorry, I didn't. We did. But I've got it here in front of me. And it's great. It's one of the types of messages I love because it starts with sincerity and ends with funny. It's to you, Carrie, and it says, you inspire me every day. I too suffer from anxiety, high functioning, but listening to you and seeing what you have achieved makes me sit and realise how lucky I am and inspires me to stay focused on what's important and not sweat the small stuff. And then she says, congratulations on such a wonderful effort. I cracked up hearing you talk about the non-pooing. Nothing worse than being a regular pooer, but failing when you need it most.
And the final one, which I thought was interesting, was Ruth Kelly messaged in and said, hi, Carrie, as a fellow runner, I just wanted to congratulate you on your run. As you were in Africa, did anyone talk to you about Ubuntu? Is an ancient African word meaning humanity to others. It's often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. Pretty cool description of what you and the team just did. Ubuntu.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around the country for your drive home this afternoon, it is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses, up to 40% off selected bed frames, and up to 30% off bedding, linen and rugs. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Yeah.
to paradise.
Those will be the best memories.
With Carrie and Tommy.
Bye. Triple Trip Tuesday, because not just one trip to paradise to give away, but un, dos, tres.
Tres.
What?
Uno,
You
due,
know.
tres.
We got 3 trips, is what I'm trying to say.
Gosh, I need a holiday. I know it's not about me, but my body needs to sit by a pool and have a lovely drink.
How long have you been back in Australia for?
Oh, only a few hours. But no, but that was not like a holiday. This is a holiday, guys. We are going to have the best time. You can sit poolside, drink whatever you want. You can come even if you're pregnant, because you don't just have to have an alcoholic poolside drink. You can have whatever you want.
How good does that sound,
Some
Kiara?
chippies. Oh.
Amazing.
Amazing. As Bick has said, it's an amazing trip. Return flights for 2 to the beautiful Hayman Island. 3 nights accommodation at the Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef. Breakfast daily, luxury boat transfers, some spending money, and we get to hang out with you and have the best time ever. Now, all you have to do to get there is guess what poolside drink we're sipping. And as Bick has said, you could be pregnant, so you might not be even sipping. Sorry, are you pregnant?
No.
Well, you could be.
It could be any drink possible.
Yes.
Whatever
Amazing.
you want, whatever you want to sip
I've
on.
seen this answer for this drink,
Yep.
and I have never sipped this poolside in my life.
Haven't you?
Maybe if I was 6 or something.
I have with my kids, lots.
Have you? Lots. Okay.
But I don't want to say any more because I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, so Kiara, pick up the hint. It could be an alcoholic drink, but it could also not be an alcoholic drink, because you, Kiara, could be pregnant.
I'm going to guess.
Oh, hold on. We haven't given you the clue.
Oh God.
Just out of curiosity, what were you going to guess?
That's so funny, but I would have said like a mojito or something, like a non-alcoholic.
A non-alcoholic
Okay, you should
mojito.
definitely wait for the clue.
Is that what they're called? Is that what they are?
It doesn't matter, because we've
Okay, here we
got
go.
we've got a clue for you. Are you?
Yeah. That's terrible.
No, it's okay, Kiara.
Is
you
there a
just do
chance you could be pregnant after this trip, Kiara?
No.
No,
Well,
okay.
I mean,
okay.
particularly with the first clue. Kiara, are you ready?
Yes.
Of course, if you get this right, you win the trip. If you get it wrong, we go to our next call and we give them another clue. Your first clue is, I bring all the boys to the yard. What do you think our poolside drink is?
A milkshake.
Yes!
Well, you could be pregnant, but you're definitely coming to Hayman Island.
Oh my gosh, you are joking.
And
That
it means
is
you can have an
amazing.
actual mojito.
I got to call my mum.
Are you bringing your mum?
So amazing. Yes, I'm bringing mum.
Oh, that's
So
Oh my God.
sweet.
Thank you so much, guys. This is so amazing.
Can't wait to see you there.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
We've got more trips to give away later on this afternoon
two
as well.
more.
2 more. Dos, what are we saying?
It's Triple Trip Tuesday.
This winter, escape the chill and embrace sun-drenched days with Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef's limited time anniversary offer from $525 per night. Conditions apply.
Carrie and Tommy.
Yes, that is where you're at for your Tuesday afternoon. Still to come, it is Triple Trip Tuesday. So we have more trips to give away to Hayman Island, the Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef, all thanks to Snooze.
Come on a holiday.
Yes.
Did you hear last night? So one of your beloved friends, Denise Scott.
Scotty, one of the great comedians that Australia will ever produce.
Yep, she was on the project last night. I tell you what, she's doing good work out there for you.
So I saw this oncologist, this girl, and she didn't know who I was. Why would she? And this nurse sort of said, "Oh, Denise is actually a comedian. She's on TV." So then I get taken behind the screen, and she's doing a breast examination. It's very intimate when they're examining, their big breasts, and she's examining me, and she went, "So, Denise, you're a comedian?" And I went, "Yeah," and she went, "Do you know Tommy Little?" I got the best treatment after that whenever I saw it, because I was her gateway to a life with Tommy Little.
You love nurses.
I do love nurses.
Imagine that. Denise could officiate your wedding.
Wingman you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine Denise Scott wingmanning you. That's so funny.
The story about how you met, so beautiful.
Denise and
As her boob was being pushed into her. It's good to see her back on TV too.
It's
having
wonderful.
been
She's
sick.
had a battle with her
Yeah.
health, and it's fantastic to see her in good spirits and back to doing what she does best, being very funny. Because,
Speaking of health,
and setting me up with nurses.
she obviously, speaking of nurses,
It's about time I had a medical professional in my life.
do you reckon you could have been interested in hooking up with the nurse you had helped you after the marathon?
Carrie, she was a 70-year-old backpacker
Yeah.
and not at all a nurse, and
We
that's
need
what we
to
need to
talk
talk about
about.
next.
Carrie and Tommy.
For your Tuesday afternoon, it is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little for the drive home.
Because we, of course, have been talking about it all show, but we just got back from South Africa and completing the Big 5 marathon. And you're right? Oh, you're eating a high-fibre cookie because you haven't pooed in 5 days.
It's not yummy.
No, none of it is.
No.
The whole story's not. Is it helping?
I don't know. It's dry.
Yeah, I don't know if that does. Yeah, it's supposed to help, but yeah,
Fiber's
it feels
meant to
like
help.
it, yeah.
Anyway,
So, after the run,
you were not good.
I was not good. I thought I was okay, and then I just started spewing.
Yeah.
I really struggled out there, and it was hot, and I had
Hold on.
sweated a lot.
We should point out, so all of us are in hats, sunscreen and glasses. And old mate over here goes, nah.
No,
like
I
to
didn't
do
say-
things differently. You
No.
know, I'm gonna do 5Ks in the sun without a hat, without
5
sunnies.
Ks. It was
5 hours,
four-
sorry.
Yeah, it was
5
like
hours.
It was 42 Ks.
Why didn't you wear anything to protect yourself from the sun?
So I'd love to say it was a choice. It was because it was cold when we got up, and
But
so
we're all, yeah.
I just didn't pack a hat or sunnies. Sorry, I took sunnies, but they weren't. They were beach sunnies, not run a marathon sunnies. Anyway, so it ended, and I thought I was exhausted, but I thought I'm fine. And I thought, no, I'm going to spew here. And then I reckon I spewed about 30 or 40 times.
Every time I'd walk off and do something, I'd go, "Where's Tommy?" And then I'd see this ass bent over in the bush, and I was like, still spewing. And then we'd go or get some food or a drink. We'd be like, "Where's Tommy?" Still spewing, still spewing.
And then it was actually the great Nedd Brockmann who said, I think you should go to the medics because I reckon you've got some heat stroke or
Yeah.
something and they can give you a drip. And so I went into the medics and I expected medical professionals, as you do. They had their jackets on and they were to
You got
describe
Betty?
them. No.
She looked like a Betty.
She looked like a Betty, but she wasn't. She was from a Scando part of the world.
Oh, okay.
To describe them, they were a 70-year-old couple.
Were they together?
Who spoke like this.
I didn't know they were a husband-wife
They were a
duo.
husband-wife duo. And I've got veins on me, right?
Yeah.
I've got veins on me, and they said, I will just put a needle in just so we can then put the drip into that. And the first one they put into my hand, and then they're speaking to each other in that language, and then they speak to me and they go, yeah. And then the other one's saying this, and then they go, okay, we're just going to try a little bit of fluid before we attach the drip, and they put a little bit in, and my whole hand started to puff up, and then they went, no, took the needle out, and they went, sorry, we missed.
Oh, my
and I
God.
said, oh, that's okay, and they said, give us another bit of your body.
Yeah, because I walked out at this point and then a couple of others were worried about you. So we all opened the door to film,
Yeah.
obviously, too, because we wanted to capture it on camera.
Yes.
And you said the words, they've just broken?
Oh, so then the next one, they tried to jab in my arm there, and you can see it's still bruised
I
and stuff
know.
from where they jabbed it in. Because that one, they not only got it in the wrong spot, but they bent the needle trying to get it in. And so then he pulled it out, and he goes, would you look at that? And he showed me this bent needle. And he goes, that's very rare. I said, oh, okay, cool.
A rare mistake.
Yeah, and they
Yay.
said, give me another shot. So then they went a third one on my
I
other
can't
arm.
believe you just kept offering up your arms.
At
that
what
was
point
still bruised.
Did you even consider just going, I'll just do it myself? Give me the needle.
No.
I mean, to be fair, you'd probably be
you
better.
could just do that?
Oh, better than
but
that,
wait,
absolutely.
But at this stage, because they're medical professionals, right?
Of course.
So at this stage, and then by the time the fourth one, two broken needles, and the fourth one, they finally got it in. And then they said these words, and now we just wait for the ambos because they've got the IV drips. And I went,
What?
what are you guys? And they went, oh, we just travel around doing this. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, yeah, we're retired. And I said, so what have you been doing here?
Oh,
and they
like
said,
retired medical professionals.
No. And they said, I said, what have you been doing here? And they said, we've just been setting up the course. So they've been putting up signs for
Dropping
the past
cones.
few days. And I said,
You're a jack of all trades.
no. And they said, I said, so what do you do like when you go around to the other marathons? And they said, just whatever's needed. And they needed medics today.
Oh, my God. So they weren't even nurses.
I think they must have had some kind of training.
They have to. I couldn't just rock up and say, hey, I'll help out in the nursing tent today.
Well,
like they
I don't
must
know.
have medical
so
training.
our dear friend Isaac Smith, who nearly
He's the greyest of man I've ever seen.
yeah, and he was in a bad way
Yeah.
when he finished. Now, I again thought this was a medical thing because I walked past at one stage, and they were just holding his feet in the air, right? And then afterwards, when I showed him the pin cushion that they turned me into, he goes, "Oh yeah, man, for me." I said I was in a bad way, and she just lifted my feet in the air.
Yeah, but
And
wasn't she trying to get the blood to rush back down to his
He
heart?
said it can do something for your lactic acid, but he goes, I've played footy for 20 years and never
No
once
one's-
have they just held my feet in the air when I've been exhausted. But a wonderful job they do.
Oh, and they fixed
course.
you right up, and then
They-
you're back in action.
I spewed again on the way down.
Oh,
13 10 60. I'd love to know, when did you realise they weren't medical professionals? Give us a call.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
13 10 60, medical professionals or not medical professionals?
Yeah, I had two 7-year-old backpackers go to work with me on the weekend.
that was so lovely.
They
though,
were awesome,
As
and
they
I was-
chatted to each other in their language.
and they were beautiful people. Also, you mentioned but as I was getting my third out of my fourth prick go into my arm to try and find a vein, they said, "Oh, that's interesting. We've just had a photo from one of the rangers, and there was a cheetah on the track." Cool.
Oh,
Yeah, on the marathon course. G'day, Tanya.
Hi, how you going?
Yeah, good. What have you got for us?
I was just listening to you guys on my way home, and I heard that poor Tommy got jabbed a few more times than what he should have.
Yes.
By rights, even as a private paramedic, you're only meant to try cannulating someone twice. If you can't cannulate them, you've got to hand it over.
Really? Well,
but who are they handing it over
but
to,
to be-
Tanya? Because she's handing it over to her hubby then, and hubby's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they sound like they should have had more paramedics
But
out there.
to be fair, there was two of them, and I got 4 jabs, so two each. Yes. Hey Tanya, can you tell me what happened? So the first the first thing he pulled out of my arm that was bent, I said was that the needle, and he said no, it's the tube that goes inside the needle. But then the second one, they were both trying to get in place, and then the actual needle bent. Is that common?
No, not at all.
I didn't think a needle could even bend.
Well, the first one he said,
Can, but yeah, they shouldn't.
Did
yeah.
it really hurt?
Yeah, but everything was pretty.
Right.
Everything was. But look, I don't really bruise that much, and look, I've still got bruising all
Yeah,
around
you
the
look like
inside
an-
of my arms.
Pincushion. Oh, Tanya.
That's not what you were going to say, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Tanya.
It's actually exactly what I was going to say. Just couldn't work out the word for it.
G'day, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. When did you realise they weren't as good at medicine as you hoped?
Well, when my third child was born at home and the ambulance arrived.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, well, they came in and it was a pretty horrible scene. And yeah, they got us all sorted out, which was great. And then my partner said to them, we're going to cut the umbilical cord. And then they just sort of looked at each other and pulled out a handbook to try to figure out where to cut the umbilical cord.
It's like, Rachel, when you go to the doctor and they Google for art. So I'm like, why are you I could have, what's happening? Why aren't you? And then they go, well, this is what it says. I'm like, don't Google it. I could have done that. Like, give me some.
You've been to school for 7 years. Figure this out.
Also, or just do it away from you. Like, turn the computer around and Google, or take the handbook into another room and look at it, not right in front of you.
Yes, they literally had a handbook and they were flicking through the pages, using the glossary, where do we find this part? It was...
umbilical. I prefer the handbook more because I remember my doctor used to use that book before the internet, and I preferred the book because at least I didn't own the book. But with Google,
Yes,
I've
that's
got
what I mean.
that.
I know.
Anyone
And you're told, don't Google it.
Yeah,
when
but
you're
when
sick.
I assumed with the book, I'm like, well, when you become a doctor, I guess
Yeah,
you get
you
the
get
book.
one of the books. Elka. Hey, Elka.
Hello.
When were you treated by a medical professional, but you wonder if they really were a medical professional?
Okay, so I had to have an emergency cesarean for my third son. The anaesthetist tried 6 times to get the cannula into my hand, 3 on each hand. Wasn't successful. Handed over to the theatre nurse who got it straight away. But then I had to sit there and have confidence in the anaesthetist to put an epidural in my spine.
Oh, my God, Elka. Oh, how scary.
It was terrifying.
Oh, my God.
To add to it, it was Friday the 13th.
Oh, my God. Did you say just let the nurse do it?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I just looked at my husband and just went, am I really going to trust this lady to put this in my spine?
Oh.
You have a wheelchair booked for me on the other side.
Oh, Elka. But good to know it all went fine, yeah?
Yeah, all went fine. Yeah, just needless to say, she tried to charge me an extra $1,000 and we had a big fight with the anaesthetist. Because she couldn't put that, because it was an emergency cesarean, we hadn't booked it in advance. So there was a $1,000 fee attached, which we didn't end up paying.
Good on
because
you.
She was incompetent.
Good on you, Elka.
Thank you, Elka. Let's finish up with Justin. G'day, Justin.
Hey, how you guys going?
Yeah, good. What happened?
So my partner and our new girlfriend and I were traveling through Turkey. We stopped in Cappadocia, and by this stage we'd already had a couple days worth of food poisoning, so we were both pretty well under the weather. And then unfortunately my girlfriend picked up COVID, so she had a terrible cough. She's an asthma sufferer as well, so we checked her into the most reputable local hospital, and as the nurse came out and he was sort of trying to administer antibiotics and some a drip, we were like, mate, what's going on? Are you qualified? And he was like, oh, I was a legal student in Syria. I escaped as a refugee, walked through the night to cross the border, and now he's administering drips in the hospital. So while we sympathized for him, we were quite worried at the time as well.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Justin, whereabouts in the world are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
Oh, where we've just been on our run.
Yes, I know. I saw that. I've been following along.
Whereabouts in South Africa are you from?
From Durban, the East Coast.
We spent about, what would you say, 48 hours there, Bickers?
Just, yes.
And wonderful part of the world, Justin. We're so happy to have ticked it off.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around the country for your drive home this afternoon. It is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Escape to paradise and indulge in the ultimate private island retreat with Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef's limited time anniversary offer from $525 per night. Conditions apply.
Escape to paradise.
If I could escape, those would be the best memories.
With Carrie and Tommy.
Bye. It is trip number 2 of Triple Trip Tuesday.
Oh, my God. Escape the winter.
Yes.
Come party with us in the warmth of Hayman Island.
Oh, my gosh. It sounds so nice. I'm
Doesn't
going to
it?
bring short shorts.
How
Do you
short are we
need
talking?
Yeah, I'm talking short.
Why?
Why not?
Our listeners don't want
Yeah,
it to
why?
be
Just
subject.
go-
This is
just
meant
go
to
to
be a
the
good
Speedos.
trip
Sorry,
for
you
them.
can't speak for all of our listeners. G'day, Joshua.
Hey, how we going, guys?
Yeah, good. Do you want to see me in short shorts?
Mate, why are you bringing shorts?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Speedos. I've got quite the array of budgie smugglers. Josh, do you wear budgie smugglers?
I don't, mate. I don't have the package for it.
No, I got over that because I don't either, but I just decided, whatever.
Also, it's the stuff down there that kind of fills it out for you.
Well, as a male model told me back in the day, he said use slices of bread with the crusts cut off.
Just to be clear, maybe don't do that if you're swimming, though.
No, the ducks go nuts
The
on your
fish will
turn.
Yes. Which it's like one of those fish tanks, in Southeast Asia that you put your feet in.
Oh, gross.
But for your junk. Never use those, by the way.
I know. Disgusting. All the dead skin in there.
And they've just eaten from the last person's feet, so you just get a pull.
Anyway,
Josh,
we won't be doing that in Hayman.
Hey, Josh, I've got to talk to you about something because I've read your entrance form and you've written something that's really made me laugh, and I don't think I fully understand it because there's a question of who you would bring, and you said your wife?
Yep.
Yep, and it says wife, great wife, mother, and some slap and tickle time. What does that mean?
Some struggle cuddles.
Some struggle cuddles.
But it doesn't make sense with who would you bring? Wife, great mother, and some slap and tickle time. It's like your brain capitulated.
We've got 2 kids, so, any alone time's a good time.
How long's it been since you had a holiday without the kids?
Never.
Never? How old are they?
I got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Oh,
Josh,
this
you
would be wonderful.
deserve this for sure.
Yes.
I hope you get your struggle cuddles and your slap and tickle time and whatever else you call it.
Struggle cuddles is so depressing.
No.
Why do you call them struggle
Because
cuddles?
you're struggling and you get a cuddle.
Why are you struggling though?
Because he's got 2 kids.
Enough, I can't get away.
Hey, Josh, all you have to do is pick the poolside drink that we are sipping on. I'm going to give you a clue. I reckon you should get it. We want you to win. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here is your clue. I'm like a lolly in a bottle with flavours like guava, raspberry and pineapple. What do you think I'm sipping on?
Oh, guava, raspberry, and pineapple. Is it a...
I'm like a lolly in a bottle with flavours like guava, raspberry and pineapple.
You buy them bottled and they contain a spirit.
They're found in many party pics of the 2000s.
Yeah, I used to be mad for these. And to be honest, if I go to Thailand, I'm still mad for these.
Is it... you're getting me?
Think a girly drink.
If you're cruising into a good night, what would you drink?
Is it one drink or is it all in one?
It's a bottle, and you can buy them in the different flavours.
And it comes in different flavours.
Yeah, and it's the first word's vodka.
Would be vodka cruises.
God, we wanted you to get those struggle cuddles so badly.
I might get some more struggle cuddles tonight.
We've got another trip to give away this afternoon. The Snooze end of financial year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses, up to 40% off selected bed frames, and 30% off bedding, linen and rugs. Hurry, sale ends soon.
One more still to go this afternoon.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around the country for your drive home this afternoon, it is Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
Watching the team that did the Big Five walking and hobbling to the airport on and off the plane the next day was one of the more comical things I've ever seen.
It was just a view into our retirement home. Like, it looked like we'd escaped very slowly from the local Shady Acres retirement village, and we were trying to board a plane and get out of here.
But the man that looked the worst, in the most pain, is a man we spoke to on the show. You may have heard him yesterday talk about how he he may have broken his foot. He joins us now, Nedd Brockmann. Hello, we miss you already.
Hello, guys. I don't like hearing that. I looked the worst. I didn't feel the worst. It was just my right foot was dragging along behind me, but we're here to tell the tale.
But also, I mean, you won and you broke the course record. I didn't do any of those things, and I still couldn't keep up with you walking at the airport.
Yeah.
How is
you had
the
a scan
foot?
as soon as you got off the flight.
Yeah, I organised the MRI yesterday, Arvo. So I got in there, scanned it at 4:00, and then my physio called me up this morning, and I have a little fractured cuboid in my foot, which is just the bone, one of the many bones in the foot that hold it together. I think I felt it at about 8K. I told you guys, and then I had to make a very conscious decision on whether I pull the pin or finish the race. And as people like who have a brain like me do, you must commit to the thing you said you were going to do, and that was try and break that record. So we ended up pulling through with 30 seconds to spare, but the cost of that is now a very broken foot in a moon boot.
How long are you in the moon boot for?
Look, 4 to 6 weeks, but that's life. That's bring it on. It's just the terms and conditions of doing this stuff.
Have you ever broken a cuboid before, Nedd?
No, I've had little stress fractures here and there, but yeah, this one, it's frustrating because the body felt fine yesterday, but it was, the foot was dragging quite a lot in Sydney International. So, I'm glad to be in a boot anyway.
I
Healing
just
now.
heard from one of our producers that you wouldn't even take Nurofen. You refused Nurofen because you believed you did it to yourself, so you had to suffer the pain.
Yeah, and I had to take the stairs at the airport because I made a rule I can't use anything but stairs. So I'm limping up these stairs.
Why hang on, why did you make the rule about the stairs?
Guys, it's a busy brain, this one.
Ned, I think you have to make yourself take your moon boot off now as well, don't you?
Yeah, sounds like it, doesn't it?
Hey, what does it mean? Obviously, a huge sacrifice and wonderful to take part in the Big Five and, of course, raising money to find a cure for brain cancer. But what does this mean in terms of your broken foot? How much does this throw you out of what you had planned next, your training, anything like that?
Oh, mate, it does a little bit, but it's kind of, this is as I said, the price of doing it. So it doesn't really affect me too much. It'll just be 4 weeks of learning to embrace this too. I like the struggles of this stuff as well. So I'm kind of just embracing it all. It'll be fine. The sun goes up and sun goes down and people are dealing with far worse things than this. This is just a little blimp in the road. So I'm very grateful. And obviously being around you amazing people made it so much more easier to get on with it. So yeah, no issues here at all.
We loved having you part of the team, Ned. It'll be one of those core memes, I think, in life. And thank you.
Absolutely, guys. See you later.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
For your Tuesday Arvo, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little, and the Coles Fest online sale is on now with exclusive online special prizes and giveaways. Head online to the Coles app today. Offer ends 22nd of June. Terms and conditions apply.
How good's this? You can win with every online order with over $10 million worth of prizes up for grabs when you shop online or in the app, Bickers.
So with every order, you'll receive a peel and win where you could receive the free products or even just money off your next Coles online shop. So it's like win-win all round.
Yes, but now...
My ideas are golden. They're diamonds in the rough. If they give me a chance, they'll see I am enough.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Producer.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Producer.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Producer.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Producer Sammy.
Heyo.
The star of the Big Five trip in my
Yeah,
mind.
he came as a producer on our Big Five trip, ended up having to run almost 2 half marathons just to cover your run and my run. There was a lot of Sammy running backwards because he was filming us.
He did not run 2 half marathons.
No.
All right.
I did
I'm
3/4.
Just pumping him up.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I'm just pumping him up.
You know,
Anyway,
no, it's fair,
he
but I
was
just-
best on ground.
it was
You
wonderful.
did an extraordinary job over there, Sammy. Everyone thought you were fabulous.
There was definitely a big difference between I was kind of manning the hill. There was
Yeah.
definitely a big difference with the look of the faces of the half marathoners coming back up compared to the marathoners an hour or two later.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Did you
crazy.
notice that we kept putting you in situations where you were like in the front of the truck and stuff? You always had to be the one talking to people that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Yeah.
Shout out to Pedro, my favourite
Yeah,
safari
you're so
driver.
good at talking to strangers.
And
we
Romani,
loved
of
it.
course. Of
Yeah.
course.
She wasn't there, but in spirit. But what have you got for us today for your producer pitch?
I want to talk about a bit of a leg of our flight because a few people lost some things on the way back between...
Can I be so proud to say?
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them.
I know, it's so weird.
I didn't lose a single
Well done.
thing, and I think I'm the only person that can say that.
You lose everything all the time.
Apparently not.
Not even an ear pod. What are they called? Earbud?
Didn't use them.
No.
Didn't
You
even
didn't
have
lose
a
it?
hat.
No.
No, didn't even have a hat. No sunnies, nothing.
Because the rest of
Couldn't
us,
lose what
we
you
were
don't
dropping
have.
like flies, weren't we?
Two laptops, a passport at one
Yeah,
stage.
there was a few things. Poor Sam McGuan, who is part of your foundation, he just wanted to buy a bottle of wine for his partner or for his
Oh.
wife, and then left that somewhere in duty free.
I think our minds, we were just a bit tired.
So I have another thing to add to the list.
Oh, no, what have you lost?
It wasn't until I was in the Uber on the way home last night that I got a notification on my phone saying that my AirPods were no longer within my body or within my...
Within your body. He keeps them tucked up as Jackson.
Yeah,
It just said AirPods left
lose them up
behind.
there.
And I could track them for like 5 minutes while I was in the Uber. And I was like, okay, all I'm going to do, because we're on the freeway heading home, and I was like, once I get home, I will see where they are and I will contact the airport in Sydney.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. By
Where-
the time I got home, they had been deactivated. Location no longer found.
Oh.
So I called them. They hadn't been handed in. So this is why I'm here. I would like to pitch we start another donation drive because you've been so successful in raising so much money for your charity.
I'll buy you AirPods.
No, I thought we could put it out to the people.
No one wants to buy you AirPods, mate.
What do you mean? I'll buy you AirPods.
No, but I mean, none of our listeners. Yes, we can, but actually,
No,
In the scheme of
Sammy, do you want
everything.
pros or not pros?
No, I don't want. I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know. I don't want this.
Yes, just tell him what you want. Just tell him what you want and he'll give it to you.
Do you want pros?
I just
The
can't
noise
give it to you
cancelling
because if I
ones?
was to donate or give anything, I would give it to the money to the charity. So I can't. do it
Okay,
to you.
this is interesting. You can have your choice. I can either. So the pros are about $420.
Yep.
So either I can buy you pros or I can donate it to Carrie's Foundation.
Donate it. I'm fine. I don't need headphones. Bye.
Carrie and Tommy.
I mean, that's 5 back-to-backs, but we've also got 3 trips to give away because it's Triple Trip Tuesday, and we've only given away 2 because...
That means one's still to come.
Oh, stay with us. Could be you.
Speaking of one,
Yes.
the song Be the One by Dua Lipa. Break it down. While I was running, doing our Big Five, at the point that I was breaking, I had a playlist on and it was just playing. In fact, I hated a lot of my music. You know, when you, like, I couldn't even listen to my music. And so I raw dogged a lot of it because, yeah, I raw dogged a lot of it because.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I mean, that's what I do, but you always refuse to.
I know. I actually raw dogged the flights too. I didn't watch a single movie.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I slept.
Carrie,
for a lot.
But we talked and we hung out.
Yeah.
That's not raw dogging is when you just stare at nothing.
Nah, for me, raw dogging's when you don't watch TV. And I didn't watch TV. Anyway.
Congratulations, you also didn't watch TV on the run.
Oh, but I didn't listen to consistently listen to music on the run. But there was a period where we're up the hill where I had my headphones in and a playlist that I mentioned was organised by a friend of mine, Vanessa. But I got a voice note come through and I could hear it in my headphones and it said, a voice note, you know, a message from Abbey has come through. Would you like to play it? And I said yes. And it was the most beautiful message from my girlfriend back home, Abbey, who was just sobbing, watching it all unfold online, saying that she loved me and I could do it and all the rest of it. And then the voice note finished and then the song, that song Be the One, which is Her and I song, just popped up as the next song on the playlist. And that played straight after.
Is that your and her song?
Well, yeah, it's our.
No, that's sorry. I didn't
it
know
is our
that.
song.
You left that. Yeah.
And then there was another moment that it happened that I'm not going to get into because it's far too personal. But it happened again when the race had finished and I was having a moment and I just couldn't collect myself and I was crying, and a song came over the loudspeaker and the same thing happened again. It was just serendipitous, if that's the word. I don't know if it's the universe speaking to me,
Yes.
but I just thought how incredible at the moments that I needed it.
Yes.
That music connected me and got me through.
It's the world working.
It's the world working. Anyway, I thought I'm going to get Be the One on for you. Abbey.
Carrie and Tommy.
Happy Tuesday, Arvo. It's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little. Not just any Tuesday. It's Triple Trip Tuesday.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses, up to 40% off selected bed frames, and up to 30% off bedding, linen, and rugs. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Escape to paradise. If I could escape, those would be the best memories. With Carrie and Tommy.
Bye.
So many deserving people wanting to come with us to Hayman Island. The next person we're going to try and get through here. I just wanted to read you one of the entrants, the woman we're about to speak to now, called Julia. She said the last time she was on holidays, she was bunking in camp beds with her 2 boys at a disability family camp, wondering where they hid the Prosecco. A perfect mix of love, advocacy and emotional exhaustion. She said, I'm a neurodivergent mum running on equal parts ADHD, advocacy and sheer adrenaline. I run a small business in the disability space while raising 2 incredible boys, one autistic and an intellectual disability, and trying to change the world in between lunchboxes, meltdowns and remembering what day it is. I don't need cocktails by the beach. Okay, maybe yes I do. I just need a moment to breathe. And she's on the line now. Hey, Jules.
Hey, how are you guys?
Oh, you absolutely sound like you need a break.
I do. I absolutely do. When I was writing my entry, I was like, oh, please, can I be with you guys, you know, in the sun with a cocktail?
Jules, we'd love to hang out in the sun with a cocktail. Who would you bring with you?
I would bring my husband, Andy. He needs this just as much as I do.
Yep.
We haven't been on a holiday together. I can't even remember the last time. My boys are 10 and 11, so, you know, way before they were born.
Well,
and you can sit by the pool and you and Tommy can have your ADHD energy together.
Yes.
Oh, Absolutely, yes. I'm really for that. I'd like to pick your brain, Tommy.
It'll take us both 8 trips to get down to the pool because we'll have left something in our room and then we'll go back and we'll leave something else. Yes.
50 conversations of different things to talk about.
Hey, Jules, we'd love to holiday with you at beautiful Hayman Island. Now, all you have to do is guess what poolside drink we are sipping on. Are you ready for your first clue?
I think so.
I'm an adjective, the name of a magazine, and was a hit in the 90s bar scene. Name of a magazine.
This is the sort of one that has a nickname.
Ooh.
The nickname is much shorter than the long name. It's often referred to as a Cosmo.
Cosmopolitan?
Yes!
No way!
Jules, I think Carrie really wanted you to come on the trip.
It's what Clue 3 says.
Yeah.
Cosmo is my nickname.
I know, Carrie, I know.
Oh my God. I'm like crying and laughing and shaking at the same time.
Jules, we can't wait to holiday with you.
Oh my God, Carrie and Tommy, thank you so much.
No worries. We'll see you there.
Thank you.
We've got another trip to give away tomorrow as well, so make sure you're listening from 9 a.m. to get in the boarding lounge. Celebrate 75 years of luxury in the heart of the Great Barrier Reef with Intercontinental Hayman Great Barrier Reef's limited time anniversary offer from $525 per night. Conditions apply.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie and Tommy love a good deal, and CommBank Yellow has plenty. Cashbacks, discounts, and exclusive deals. Just for banking with CommBank. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
Carrie, why are we just flipping the double birds while singing that song?
I was just singing. I was just pointing to one of the producers outside.
Yeah, fair enough. They need to be on notice.
Yeah, let
it's a joke.
Someone's back in the country now.
That's right. Producer Sammy was not good enough on that trip.
And I'll tell you what, we have just got back from South Africa,
Yeah.
and when we were lining up the start line for the Big 5 marathon, what a list of countries got shouted out, all because there were runners from all over the world.
I know. It was beautiful.
And of course, they can't mention them individually by name, so they just went through country by country.
Yeah.
And here, when Australia pops up.
We have runners from all over the world. We have runners from the Philippines, from South Africa, from Sweden, from Finland, and we have Carrie Bickmore.
That was it. It wasn't Australia. It was just, and Carrie Bickmore. And we all went, yeah! Have Sweden and Carrie Bickmore. It was so good.